your season opener last week in New York.
Yeah, I went and ran in the Millrose Games last week in the mile, and it was a great experience. I really like running at Millrose, and I've never raced here in Boston, but I'm certainly excited to do so, and another good race on Saturday night.
Thank you. Jen Stasinski is the 2008 Olympic silver medalist. She's the 6-time U.S. champion. She's a world indoor champion, silver medalist from 2008, and she is the outdoor American record holder in the pole vault as well. Jen, up until last week, you had success at pretty much every event you competed in around the world, including the World Championships, including the Olympic Games, including the Championship Series. Millrose Games, not so much, and obviously that has changed. Can you speak to what it was that made that change for you?
Yes, the Millrose Games has always been a tough meet for me. So this time around, my goal was just to win it. And, it's always, sounds easier than it is. And, there's a lot of things that go into it. And I think this year it was a mental game. And I knew that what I've been working on in the off season and what has gotten me through, if I could just execute it, then I was going to be all right. So that's what I focused on.
Thank you, Jen. And last and certainly not least, Stephen Hooker from Australia. He's the 2008 Olympic champion. He's the Australian national record holder. He's also a World Indoor Championship medalist, and he's the number 4 vaulter in history. Stephen, everyone knows, I think by now, how well you jumped last week. I'd love to just hear your thoughts on the Millrose Games.
Yeah, Millrose Games was a bit surprising. It was my first competition for the year, and history repeated itself a little bit. I jumped 6 meters in my first competition of the year last year in Perth, and managed to repeat that again this year, which I'm very happy about at Millrose Games, jumping a personal best of 6:01. I don't know what that is in feet and inches, but that's what it is in metric. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. There's, looking back on video from the meet, I think there's still things that I can work on technically, and I hope I can jump higher than that here. I believe we're going to be jumping on the same runway, so it'll be good to have that consistency in terms of the conditions we're going to have, and I feel like I can jump pretty well again this weekend.
Great, thank you.
For me, it's not really different at all. Our event's pretty similar, indoors and outdoors. We just eliminate a couple of the variables like wind and the weather and that sort of stuff. So I actually really enjoy jumping indoors. I feel like I can make better decisions in terms of changing between poles and what I do with my uprights and what heights I choose to jump and that sort of thing. So for me, it's just a little bit less stressful than jumping outdoors, and I feel like I could jump as high indoors as outdoors, but my preparation doesn't really change all that much.
No, I don't start wearing the weight vest until next week.
Okay. Not being facetious. What kind of pace would you like to keep, and who do you see as your biggest challenge in the 3000?
I haven't seen a start list, but anyone that they let into the meet as competition. Everyone is a great runner that comes to these races, and I don't really have a goal time in mind. I just want to run competitively, and I'd like a faster pace. I'd love to run sub 8:40, but who knows what will happen. Really just run a competitive race and be aggressive and kick well.
The 20 mile that you're going to run on Sunday, the day after, where is that going to take place?
The last 20 miles of the marathon course. I have the first 18 miles on Sunday, and I ran the last 10K Monday, and yeah, I'm going to run some this afternoon as well. So I've been running little patches.
How did that go? How did you play?
I really like the course. I had never seen the course at all, and I've been pleasantly surprised at how much I like it. It has a really, really great feel. It's a very intimate course, I think, and it's really rolling, and there aren't a lot of turns, so I just think it'll be a good place to get into a good rhythm. I'm really excited about it.
How to make that happen?
Yes, that's a hard one to get. I've attempted that one quite a bit, and some days I thought I was going to stay on my second attempt. I thought that I had it and was partially celebrating, and then it came down. So I think for this weekend, it's the same thing. I have to get there first. I have to make the opening height and go for the win for the meet, and from there, and then hopefully the bar can go to the American record. And I have to treat it like a normal jump. I can't treat it like it's a record jump or it's a big height or, you know, I want this so bad. I just have to jump at it like it's a normal jump.
Marathon, or is that a grand plan that you and your coach have worked out?
My grand plan of my coach back there. I just think, we think it's important to be good over all distances and to keep your athleticism and to really, you know, just stay on top of everything as an athlete. And really, I basically just do what my coach tells me to do. So he wanted me to come back and run Millrose, and I wanted to do it, and so it was a great fit. But yeah, I just like to race against the best. I think that's what it takes to make you better. Whether you win or lose, when you compete against the best people, that's when you learn the most and become a better athlete. So, you know, I'd like to run the mile, the 3K, 5K, 10, marathon, whatever it takes, just against the best people. Well, I spent the whole day Sunday after my long run shopping with my mom and just kind of going around the city and spending money. But I've just been, you know, I've only been to the city a couple times before. I ran a 10K here on the roads once, but I literally was just in and out. And then I came when my husband won the indoor USATF 3K in 2006, but I had just been in a car accident, so I pretty much just sat in a hotel the whole time. So I've just been trying to get out and get to know the city a little bit, and you know, but really my main focus is here is to learn the marathon course and to get ready for a good race on Saturday. So it's mostly been centered around running.
Second generation of vaulters, such as yourself, to get it going into the third, to really bring the depth of higher heights to the U.S. scene and to the world scene.
Yes. It's always the question, has the women's pole vault stabilized yet? And the answer is yes, it has stabilized at the higher heights. You're not going to see women jumping a foot higher than what they are now. It's definitely stabilized. What you're seeing is the gap from the bottom to the top is filling in, like you said. A lot of people are starting to jump in the 60s and in the 70s, and that is starting to fill in. You're getting more and more people every year in that range. And with the U.S., this year in college alone, you have 8 girls that have already done the auto for NCAAs, and that's quite a bit this early in the season. So I think what you're seeing right now is, you know, that, you know, fluctuation with the vaulters where they are starting to get up there and they are starting to fill in, you know, in the medium heights right now. And, you know, after college, that's what we're hoping is that they'll be in the top heights and continue on with that. So, I mean, it's everything though. There's so much involved with pole vault. It's not really one system or one place or one answer. It's just, you know, just getting everyone together, and, you know, from there people will start to develop.
And just following up to that, is there a difference in coaching men and women? The fundamentals are the same, and certainly at the top level there's going to be some differences. But do you think that's part of it, that they're, early on, a lot of the coaches were dealing just with women. They got excited about it, they nurtured people along. And is it now to the point where coaches are dealing with men and women at the NCAA level, top high school levels, the same way?
You know, my coach would be a good one to ask that. He's trained both men and women, and we've talked about it. And, you know, he says off the start, you know, the women are very good at listening. You know, right away they can apply the skill better than the men. Sometimes the men are all over the place, you know. But he said at the end, it's funny, in competing, he said that, you know, with the girls, it's kind of like if they're mad at you, they'll jump bad just to be mad, you know. But the guys, they'll jump harder because they want to win. So it's kind of more of an emotional thing sometimes when you coach women, where you have to know, you know, when to push, when not to push, how to lay off, how to motivate. And so I think there's more of a difference with that than there is with men. So I think there is more of an art coaching women than men.
My goal is to consolidate some of the things I've been working on technically with my jump, and hopefully the result of that is going to be just greater consistency throughout my competitions all during the year, and good results at major competitions like World Championships in Berlin.
Thanks. Okay.
Same thing. Pole vault's such a technical thing that you always are working to improve something, and it's hard to improve on it because there's so much involved. So, you know, we've taken the indoor season to work on that and to work on trying to make changes during competition. And we've never done that before. We've always just tried to jump the bar. So, you know, I'm trying to make changes during competition now, and hopefully, you know, by the time that outdoors comes, it's going to be better.
My goal for the year is to win the Boston Marathon. So everything I'm doing in preparation is just to prepare myself for that, and that really is, that's my goal for this year.
Thank you.